Divine Spirit and gracious Creator, we're all here to open ourselves up unconditionally to your divine assistance and continued direction. As well as receiving your healing and guidance, we are fully open and ready to receive and notice signs and blessings. We are truly grateful and thank you. Amen. Please settle your minds and focus on your crown chakra. And when you are ready, open it for Spirit to supply you with its source of energy. As it enters your crown chakra, allow it to rebalance all your chakras, starting with the crown chakra, moving on to the brow chakra, down to the throat chakra, and then onto the heart chakra. Going working its way down to the solar plexus chakra, further down to the sacral chakra, and then down to the root chakra. Allow the spirit energy source to visit all your minor chakras to maximize our potential in this circle. Let the energy settle in your body, and when you are ready, move your focus back to your heart chakra and start linking with all other members of this circle unconditionally. Set your intentions on the task we agreed, please, to maximize our ability to make the links to circle that we need to achieve. We've come together on the earth plane with the purpose of receiving answers to our questions from our spirit guides and advisors that are happy to link with us. I would like to start by introducing members of our circle here tonight. My name is Neil, and with me today is Pam, Ashley, Adrian, Claire, Sharon, and Donna. I would like to welcome all members of the Spirit Circle and thank you for believing in us. As we try to lift your energy level sufficiently to enable you to bridge and make contact through our mediums, we are focusing on offering you the opportunity to link through us. Please link directly through your choice of medium. If you're happy to, link through another medium at the same time as another soul from Spirit does, please do so. Where possible, we would respectfully appreciate confirmation that we have achieved a successful link through either a sense of doing so, or even more grateful to hear the spoken word itself. As we try to lift our energy levels in our own circle with the help of our own guides and others in spirit, we do look forward to making the connection to the Spirit Circle. When we have achieved that, could you confirm when you are ready for questions to be put to you, please? Good evening.
Good evening, Neil. We wish to say as a collective, a spirit, sorry, we are still blending.
Okay, thank you.
If it is okay, to speak as a collective of spirit to you all this evening?
Of course, it's okay. We're grateful to hear whatever you have to say to us.
We welcome the light inside of all of you. We are all here, your family, your loved ones, your guides. We so appreciate your strength, the work that you do for spirit. We wanted to step forward to say how grateful we are. We watch on proudly. We know that many of you have felt alone. Your spirit families are working closely with you. We do hope that this is some reassurance. Thank you for allowing me to speak, Neil.
You're very welcome. Thank you for your words.
I shall go now, but this important message was needed this evening.
Yeah.
Good evening to you, and thank you.
Thank you once again.
Imagine holding your hands as a group. Please focus on your heartbeat. Listen to the beat and remember to pass the energy from the left hand through to those that is on your left side. You should all have a vision of an animal. A few more moments. Please remember to pass the energy around the circle.
You are being joined now. You have a guide to your left and an elder to the right. This is to help the energy this evening.
We appreciate your help. Thank you.
We wish to remind you that you are a powerful spiritual being. That there's light inside of you. We wish to ask each member of the group, do you feel your guides with you? Do you feel the elder to your right? Can you each speak in turn?
I do.
Thank you, Pam.
I do as well.
Thank you, Neil.
The opposite way round, I think.
Thank you, Ashley.
I don't.
No,
I do.
thank you, Sharon.
Can you explain like the difference between an elder and a guide?
A guide has been assigned to you. This could be a family member or someone obviously has walked the earth before. Does that make sense for the guide?
No, I don't know, but
An elder has not necessarily been here before. But some may have. That is all I'm permitted to say.
okay, thank you.
Answers often promote more questions. Focus on the flame and linking your hands together around the fire. Combine your energy and let it rise.
Wahoo. Blessings to you.
Welcome to you.
It has taken a while to blend tonight. I think with
Yes,
the new energies have imbalanced you all. But you all seem to be back in your normal alignment now.
okay, that's good. Have you blended well enough to carry on?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for coming anyway. Thank you for persevering with us.
It's our pleasure.
Is there a name you would like to use tonight, or do you prefer to go without a name?
My name is Joe.
As a start, Joe, then, would you like to open up by describing your last life, if you had it on the Earth or even on a planet?
My last life I lived on Tonga. I passed in 1910.
What did you
I-
like about that life?
I picked for myself that life for the way it was meant to be, peaceful. There was some hard work. A good sense of community and family. I spent my days fishing, preparing the fish for the meals, and enjoying my times with my brothers.
Did you only have brothers, Joe?
Yes, in my immediate family,
Okay.
but in that culture, in our culture, the men was always seen as a brotherhood.
Yeah. Okay. How would you compare that life to the one we are living at the moment?
Very different. Very different indeed. You have many more distractions. Your outlook on life is very different as well. It is all about what you seem to want to get or yes, the outlook is always about wanting more. And not being happy with what you have.
How can we reverse the trend? What would you suggest?
For yourselves is try to just be present with what you have, even if some of you may not have what you might see lots of luxuries and things. Is just be content with what you have. As soon as you start wanting more and then you get more, it is always about the next thing. The problem is there is always another thing. The world today, nothing ever seems to want to be made to last. It is good to, in some ways, strive for those things to become better or more advanced. But when they do not last, it is very wasteful. And the joy is only short-lived. The only way
Well-
to bring it back is to tell yourself or ask yourself, do I need these things to make myself happy?
How do we go about convincing as many people to take this approach for it to actually cause, the change that is required?
I would say it'd be a snowball effect. That if you help your children or grandchildren, friends, nephews, nieces, neighbours, it will only start when you see them maybe asking for advice or asking for certain things that you can then maybe help them see that what they perceive that they need to have is not necessary. that if there's something that they've currently got that's working perfectly fine and it isn't broken, do they really need it? This is difficult because, especially with young ones, they will always want what their peers have. But all children are different, and their parents and their incomes are different. And some can settle for what they have, knowing that it is not in their reach to have it. And it is those that you will be able to help the others. That are, I regret saying this, but wasteful.
My dilemma is not convincing the children. My dilemma is convincing the adults that need to make those changes. Yes, I believe they will follow the influence of their parents, but it's how we generate change in large enough numbers.
Sometimes things have to start small in order for them to gain speed.
Mm.
There are also plenty in the world that are able to survive with very little.
Yeah,
Maybe in the social media, a well-placed piece of a well-placed piece of writing, of inspiration passed around and shared
yeah.
may be the way. As well as, obviously, the human connection within your friends and groups. There are more people recycling older things. We do see a change, but it is not moving fast enough. People need to slow down. The way to tell when you are tired is when you are left in a quiet with nothing to do and nobody else around you, and you're just left alone. And you feel the sense that you need to sleep. This is another way that you need to reevaluate your life and the way you go about it.
Has Spirit embarked on a program of generating and trying to influence significant changes in human attitudes and approaches to life. You know, to safeguard the future of the human living vessel on the earth plane.
Yes, currently I am allowed to say that influence is having to be moved along from us to you to help. More so than ever before. After the illnesses that have been around this past 100 years or so that have taken many lives, we thought, and with the wars, the civilization would have pulled together a lot better than it has.
Why hasn't it?
Unfortunately, there are people in, shall we say, higher places that are only out for their own self-gain. They get themselves into positions for their gain and have no consequences about those that they are supposed to be helping. They are only there for their own fame and fortune. But there are more in their numbers now than there has ever been. And with the world becoming a more smaller place, as it is more accessible to the masses, it has sped this up.
When in spirit you see that happening, do you not take action to minimize the effects so that you can bring it back under control? Or is it totally down to the human souls to deal with it themselves?
As much as I have had a few lives on earth, I am still quite young, and my responsibilities only lie with passing a few messages of wisdom and inspiration, guiding those that I am attached to at that time. The elders that we have in the group and that are around and supporting, it is up to them to see and write a path of correction.
Yeah.
we have to let things happen, rightly or wrongly. This is the path of the earth. It is one of the harder places to live a life.
But if the elders can see that things are getting so out of balance, there's never a time where they can actually interfere, even if it means bringing casualties.
This does happen. But there are new ways that this is trying to be dealt with.
Okay.
As a civilization will always move forwards, the direction sometimes leads into different paths. What we are trying to do with the current generation is steer it away from its end.
Isn't there a strong argument that sometimes to go forward, you need to go backwards and then move forward again?
This has been done several times in the past.
Yeah.
But as there are more on the planet now than has ever been, there would be more to lose
Okay.
in an overall capacity. Things in the past were more natural. They could be absorbed back without consequence. To the earth. So we have to do things differently now.
Albeit as a temporary stopgap, can you stop more souls coming to the earth plane until, let's say, the changes start to show themselves?
What we are trying to do currently is not stop the souls coming back, but they are having to be selected.
Okay.
Maybe experience some souls attached to certain places and they always want to go back to what they know.
Yeah.
In their early progression, some may move around before coming to the earth. What has previously happened, some have come straight to the earth without better experience elsewhere.
Okay.
They've come for in some ways, they've taken the short path. to where they thought they need to be. But this has had an effect on humankind. Some souls were not experienced or strong enough to help guide the humans, which would they was a joint to. So some of the old ones that maybe wished no luck to take their journey elsewhere are being asked to come back to mentor and show the way. But this takes time.
Yeah.
The younger souls now are not encouraged without prior consultations and meetings from their teachers and tests before they can come to the earth.
How long do you think this process will take to have some effect, or the desired effect, in our terms?
It will probably take another century.
Okay.
So hopefully grandchildren and great-grandchildren will slowly see the turn or the benefits. But the more people we can encourage to slow down, spend more time in nature,
Yeah.
more time being self-appreciative, less doubtful, and stop trying to chase others for what others have, and be happy just with themselves. The more we can get to do that now, the quicker it will be for people to learn respect for one another. Again, this seems to have
Yeah.
wandered, shall we say.
For human souls that struggle on the earth plane, how can they become happier with their own life? Or do they have to just learn to take the rough with the smooth? Has that attitude gone?
The attitude now seems to be that they give up easily.
Yeah.
Sometimes there can be too much help around, which makes one become weaker. You stop relying on your self-belief, your self-trust, and your own mind. It is nice to ask for advice and help, but when there is none, you then rely on yourself, and you will normally come up with the right answer and progress forward. Confidence can be lost when constantly asking others. You never truly make a decision for yourself. if you make a decision for yourself and it happens to be the outcome is not what you wanted, then you know that you are still here, you are still where you are. You know what not to do the next time. But nothing bad happened, just the outcome wasn't quite what you expected. Live in the flow. If something is difficult and you keep trying the same thing, do something different.
Mm.
It might only take the smallest of change to change that outcome. It doesn't have to be a big thing to change an outcome. Just a thought process can be enough.
From a spirit point of view, what does pain and suffering bring into a human soul's life? What do you see from that, negative or positive?
When you are living it, it's just how you perceive it. When you pass and you come back home, you can reflect on it, and you would say that it would definitely be a negative. But it has taught you something and shown you strength if you have moved through it. It doesn't mean to say that there aren't other ways to show or learn from things without some things being so painful. But this is why some things on the earth are so raw.
Was that always envisaged as being part of a life on the earth?
I am being explained to that back many, many years ago, many of your centuries, millennia even, Earth was very similar to a lot of other places. But other places have developed differently, like children develop differently and adults as well. Some things good, some things bad, but the thing with the earth is there is such a varied amount of emotion, hope, the love, the human form itself. It is very different. The feelings you get, the way you interact and communicate. Just trying to look at it from the bigger picture, and you can only see that. Once you've passed in your last life.
I can understand the concept in that, but obviously while we're in a human vessel, we can't always grasp that.
No. But it is the fast pace of your life currently that is actually holding the civilization back as a whole.
Okay.
With most people, you look at your life's day, 3/4 of it is work. The rest is sleep. There is not much time left for yourselves to enjoy. If people can realize that it is the life that is more important than the work, you can still enjoy a good life.
Yeah.
But make the most of the time that you have. Try to balance work over your own time.
When you're giving inspiration, guidance, and messages, does that actually come through you, but from a higher source?
Do you mean me, or do you mean as in a person just in day to day?
Yeah, I mean communication from spirit, whether through a medium or whether like in this circle, but are you really the, how can I say, the messenger passing on the inspiration and guidance, or is it your actual thoughts?
These are my thoughts, but there are, because we come as a combined, I am your voice for this evening,
Yeah.
and I am here with my visions and experience. But as with the circle on, let's say, our side, we combine to bring you the answers that we can, that we are allowed to.
Yeah.
Hopefully they are of help.
Oh, they are of help. There's no doubt there. And, I apologize. I didn't mean any disrespect to you.
No, there's no disrespect taken.
But that leads me on to another sort of quandary. We're always told that we are all one, particularly in spirit, You know, the problem is we don't recognize it when we're in a human vessel necessarily, but if we're in spirit, why do you continue to display individual human, maybe, or living personalities in spirit rather than the personality of the source? Or is this purely a communication mechanism? You know,
When
to
we
aid
say we are
interpretation.
one, yes, we connect as one,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to think of something that you would all recognize. The Milky Way. You look at the Milky Way, you see it with lots of stars within it. So you would be one of those stars, but you're all connected within that space. Would you understand that?
In a way, yeah. It's a good analogy.
So you are still moving around. You are still connected. But you have to be free. So to visualize it, you would look at it like that. But you still have the freedom to move, to
Okay.
grow,
Yeah.
to expand. The proof as well is the way when you connect with your mediumships. But because you are in the human vessel, you are trying to do two things. You all connect with us, and we connect with you, but you all connect with one another.
Okay.
It is just how you perceive it. But you are still yourself individually. I would say it'd be like being telepathic is what you would call it.
Yeah.
That is how we are
Okay.
in spirit. We can just link immediately,
Yeah.
no delay to one another.
In the human vessel, you mentioned something there that if we manage to change our perception of something, does that open more doors for us?
Yes. When you started your mediumship, would you say that since then more doors have opened for you?
For me personally, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. It is just
By giving trust and just going with it.
yes, you've also become, in a sense, slightly disconnected to how you lived your life, with maybe following others, following the crowd.
Yeah,
You've,
agreed.
you've connected more with yourself. As much as you still do those other things, you listen to yourself. You brought yourself and your energies back within.
Yeah. Okay.
But it also, but it has then allowed you to connect with everything rather than just a particular thing.
No, I agree. You've just described it. You couldn't have described it any better. For me, anyway.
And this is what we hope that all will do. To bring themselves back to themselves, which then, like you say, would open more doors, but to actually connect you more to the whole of everything rather than just that one thing.
In spirit, does it ever happen as you expand or ascend into a higher state? Do you ever lose your previous living personalities and identities, or are they always there for you to choose to tag on to?
There are some people on earth, I'll explain it like this, that you'll meet and they remember everything, every tiny little detail. They can recall anything. And there are those that can't remember what they did yesterday.
Yeah.
When you are in spirit, you can recall everything. But it is you. And like being a human, you pick up things. It will just blend with you. You learn to take bits that you still have your own identity. You don't forget anything, but there are things that you pick up and all those memories of all those lives. So you can tap into at any time.
Yeah. No, I just wondered, as I said, if in spirit, as some people say, you become an ascendant master, whether all that falls by the wayside, because the focus has to be different.
But to make you that ascendant master, all that has come before is what has made you get that far.
Okay, yeah. Touche. Okay, thank you. Yeah. What can be a negative in a human soul of putting other people first?
You forget yourself. The feeling of doing for others in a human life is great, but you lose yourself because you spend so much time doing for others. You start becoming them in a sense. You start knowing that that person will then rely upon you. You then start predicting the things they might ask you to do to keep helping them. The more people you help, the more this then distracts you, lose yourself. It also will stunt the confidence in the other people that you constantly help. because they then rely upon you,
Yeah.
like I explained earlier. People need to trust themselves more first. Exhaust all avenues before going to others. Like one of your crosswords. Rather than jump to the answer sheet or ask those around, think of all the things you could do before you ask for the help. When helping others, help them, but try to show them the way rather than doing it for them.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Lead them.
Suppose to lead them or teach them is another way. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it will give them the confidence as well that you show a little step, then they take a big step.
And when they've done it themselves, that's even more motivation, isn't it?
Yes, their confidence will rise that they've done that. Maybe the next time it might be a backward step, but then you show them that maybe if you'd done this a little bit differently, then they might do it the next time. And then move forward again, realizing that sometimes you can't always go forward. Treat it as going sideways rather than backwards.
How should we keep our human egos in check?
Can't keep them in check too much because this is what becomes you, which makes you.
Yeah.
It does take all sorts, and this is why. There has to be good and bad and right and wrong. But as long as you follow your own moral compass, look after yourself and your family and your friends. Don't be too greedy. The saying of think of others before yourself is a good analogy, but in practice it goes too far sometimes.
Yeah.
Treat others than how you would like to be treated yourself is probably the better way to go.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, different tack now. We know angels don't have wings, but why are they depicted with wings and human-like bodies?
When angels have been seen, they've been seen coming down. In the past, the only things that were in the sky were the birds. The spirit would be seen to be taking a human form, but to be coming down. Those that I've drawn would have drawn with the wings, because the only thing in the sky at the time was the birds. So it would be seen that the human form would have come down from the sky, but would have needed wings to do so.
Okay. But presumably now they come through portals, is that right?
There are many ways they can come through. But yes, portals.
Okay. Answering on behalf of the Spirit Circle here tonight on block, what needs to be said to us either as a group or as individuals? What would you like to say? What advice?
Take time to sit in peace. Ask your higher spirit, yourself, your inner self, advice. Am I on the right path? If you have something you're not sure about, which way do I go? What is my answer? You can ask your guides or your team. But people forget you are a higher power within you that has the answers as well. And a lot of you forget this. You will ask the grandparent, the mum, the dad. Just remember, as we say, we are a soul that's growing within a human, but we forget that soul has lived lives before, even if it is a first life that it is living. It still has experience and can access all the information that is needed. This is the one that links to your heart, your head, and your gut. The answers will always be true and kind. I hope this helps. I have a feeling that others have forgotten within the group to ask from within before asking out. I think
I
even you,
don't.
Neil, or do this, do you not?
Sometimes, but yeah, sometimes I have to remind myself, yeah. When you get distracted.
You will ask out before asking within. Try it and see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes your higher self will direct you. and you will just do things without knowing.
Yeah.
Like it will take over in certain situations. You think, did I really say that? But it has always taken you to a positive, and the outcome has always been good. So don't forget
Yeah, I can see that.
to ask your higher self, doesn't mean you can't ask, as you always normally do if you ask guides for help.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be a new way or a good way or a different way for you to try, for all of you, just to see the difference.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me about that.
I know it has been short tonight, but I think with the balancing and the energies, and you all learning to sit within yourselves.
Yeah.
I will bid you a good evening.
Once
And
again, thank you, Joe, for coming through to us.
it is my pleasure and our pleasure to bring you the answers and advice for you.
Take our love back with you, please, to the circle.
We will. And please receive our healing that you will receive tonight. Thank you very much.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Time for us now to finish today's question and answer session. We would like to thank Spirit for being here to guide us and working directly with us. That includes our personal guides and for the additional advisors that have joined us here today to give us the benefit of their wisdom. Thank you for your continued support. We all do fully appreciate and value. We look forward to linking up again with you next time. Before we close the link, we hope you don't mind us spending a few minutes of our time exploring our personal direct links with Spirit. 2 to 3 minutes until I call you back into the room, everyone. Time now to refocus on your crown chakras, please. And as and when you have, close it down to break your link with spirit. Move any residual energy you don't need down from your crown chakra to your brow chakra, onto your throat chakra, then to your heart chakra. Take it further down to your solar plexus chakra, onto your sacral chakra, and then to your root chakra. Allow this surplus energy to move down through your legs and body to your feet, and ground yourself on Mother Earth, please. When you're sufficiently grounded and in your own time, gently and slowly bring your attention back into the room. Before I stop the recording, I'll just see if Pam has anything that she
Thank you, Neil.
received.
What came through to me was just like, and they showed me like cities and towns and that were sort of like waving like this, like sound waves, if that makes it easy to understand. And I was given indicated towards the fact that at the moment we are all in a down part of that curve, but it will get better. It'll take time, but we will get there. And they've asked me to say, could you please, if you haven't already done it, or if you have done it and do it again, listen to what came through tonight, and that through Adrian. It's very important that we listen to this. Okay, thank you, Neil.
Thank you very much. Okay, and on that note, I'll stop the recording and hopefully we'll see you all again.